ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Today I'm going to speak on the purpose of life as per the divine rules. There are two ways to live a life. One way is submission to God, and the other way is of combat, that is fight. A worldly person is normally involved in challenges, fight, combat, whereas a religious person is entailed in submission, in hukam, in command of the Almighty. A rebel has passion, anger, greed, attachment, and pride as his weapons, whereas a religious person has compassion, love, contentment as his tools. God is all powerful. He can give you worldly wealth, power, and status if you so wish. He can fulfill all your desires. But for this purpose, and to have all that, you have to accept his commands. You have to walk within his rules. Believe in him and stop doubting his existence. Don't ask any question on his existence. He exists. Do your self-analysis and record the mistakes you have made in your life. Your grief or non-fulfillment of your desires would be certainly due to your own wrongs and immoral acts. God is always the giver. Only we sometimes turn our back to him. When it rains, we put our pots upside down. Certainly no water will fill in there. It is our mistake that we put the pots wrong side up and not of the rain, for it will fall indiscriminately anywhere. Whether it is Buckingham Palace or it is a hut, it will fall. When sun shines and we shut our door, we create darkness in our room by our own actions. And there is no fault of the sun who gives us all the heat, all the light. God is full of mercy. He is not revengeful. He gives us all. He guides us all. And he warns us all against the wrongs we ourselves close our eyes, close our ears, and turn our back to him, refuse to accept his guidance. We inflict pains and injuries to ourselves by our own karmas. He says love. Jin prem kiyo tinhi prabh payo. Those who love will get the manifestation of God. But we start hating people. He says, do not harm others. Na koi veri, na hi begana. There's no enemy. There's no stranger. We all are children of one God. But whereas we start injuring others and enjoy in their grief, he says, be honest. Whereas we do most of the deeds dishonestly. He says, be loyal, be faithful, be sincere. And we do just the opposite to that. How can we realize him? And how can we have his audience when we are full with immorality and dishonesty? When a person is born, on his forehead is written the date of his death. Destiny is written here, and that destiny which we have made by the input of our own karmas. God's orders are eternal. No one can change them. He creates and destroys. That is how the world is made. When there is happiness in a birth, I think there should be joy in the death as well, for it has to come. It is in the destiny, it is written, it is a part of life. God, that is God's law. Birth and death are two sides of the same coin. Both are essential for a purposeful existence. There is a story that Alexander, the conqueror of the world, wanted to drink nectar to become immortal. In his young age, he hated death. He went all over the world in search of the spring of nectar. And at the end, however, he was successful in the search and found the spring hidden in a range of mountains. He fulfilled his hands with water, and when he was about to drink to become immortal, a feeble sound came. He turned back and saw a very old man who looked like a heap of bones and had almost very, very fearful looks. The old man advised Alexander not to drink the nectar, as it would no doubt make him immortal like him. But then, what was the use of a life if it is so bad and so ugly? If it has no spark in it, if it has no beauty in it, no challenge in it. Death is also an essential part of life. Alexander threw away the water and did not drink it. God's laws are not subject to debate or criticism. Either you accept them or you do not accept them. You cannot change them. The scriptures, whether you read Guru Granth Sahib or the Holy Bible or the Holy Quran or Angus or Sri Pataka, Torah, they help you to understand the laws. They give you direction to grasp them. They are only the means and not the end. They are like maps or signboards to find and follow the right way. They are like the milestone to gauge the distance to and from the ultimate destination. They themselves are not the heaven. As the sun gives you both light and energy, but its photograph will not give you either light or energy. It is an illusion. Both grief and happiness are controlled by his laws. If you really believe in this law, then the grief will disappear from your life. The whole universe is moving within his orbit. Do the right karma and leave the result to him. The sorrows and happiness are the results of our own karmas. If we understand this secret, then to achieve happiness and comforts, we will be deterred from doing bad karmas and will be motivated to do the good karmas only. Our karmas decide our ultimate result of life, heaven or hell. We are all a product of our good or bad dispositions as well. We are controlled by our own frame of mind. But look at God, who controls the whole universe. Millions and millions of people live there. Some are happy, some are unhappy, some are in pain, some are enjoying life. Should this affect him? If it does affect him, how can he control the world? When I say that we are product of our own mood and our own disposition, and we are controlled by our frame of mind, God is beyond these tempers. He controls both the grumps and the high spirits. He always lives in ecstasy. He looks both at our pains and comforts and suggests us the way, the right path to walk on. But he himself is not carried away. He is above the sum total of griefs and bliss. He's completely detached. And that is his advice, that we must also live a detached life. He says, I live in a happy home. Build a house, then turn it into a home and make it happy, and I will be there. There's no need to leave your home and go to forests and caves and peaks and desert your families. No need of that. Live in your home. Make it the best place of happiness with your good conduct, with your love for your children and your wife and your mother and your father and your brothers and your sisters. Love them. Love is the main purpose of life. Good karmas are the main purpose of life. His hukam, his commandments is the main purpose of life. We must bow our head to his commands, accept them with a smile. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ